Old meeting to order. Madam Clerk, I think we have a quorum. Regular meeting Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. We have Pastor Jeff Duncan from Grace Church do the invocation for us tonight. And if everybody will remain standing, have a pledge.
Let's pray. Father, we bow before you and thank you that in your providence there is a town of Cedar Point. We come before you according to your word and just pray for the town's welfare, pray for its preservation, action for its growth. Lord, to that end, we pray for your blessing on this meeting. Pray for these commissioners that you would grant them wisdom and strength and perseverance and a hard job that they have to do. Thank you for these citizens who are here. Pray for your blessing on them. We pray that as a result of this meeting, that this town would be served well. So we just commit it to you. Pray for your blessing on it. Trust you for it. Look to you for grace. Lord, the fount of all wisdom. So we pray that you would Christ.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome everybody out. No snow, that's a good thing. Snow's probably coming though, that's a bad thing. So if you're not prepared, get prepared. I think it's coming. It's coming. Grocery store's already empty. So they get stocked back up or not. All right, has everybody had a chance to take a look at the agenda and the consent agenda? Anything you want to pull off, change, or add? Our budget calendar is in there. You guys need to make sure you put that in your phone so you don't forget any of those dates. I'll entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda and the consent agenda as presented. A second.
Have a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes, thank you. Okay, David, final plat, Cedar Point Villas, Phase 3B.
All right, Mayor. On the screens in front of you is a draft of the final plat for Cedar Point Villas Phase 3. This includes buildings F, G, and H. They're shown. All these interior lines that you see here are the three individual buildings, constituting 18 townhouses. This is final plat, so there's already been preliminary plat. Site work infrastructure has been put in place to where no bond would be needed. Planning boards looked at it, reviewed it, granted its blessing. There's a couple things that need to be updated before we can officially sign it. It does have signature blocks down here at the bottom for the planning board chair, as well as the mayor. Couple items are just some dates up here in the upper right hand corner, and then a reference to either the corner of the buildings when they're built being the property lines, the final markers of those property lines, or the plat being updated to reference that irons have been set for each of those corners. Those are just a few minor things that are required on our list of requirements for a final plat, and something that would be required at the county level as well. But it's an administrative decision, so it doesn't take any real deliberation or any additional permitting. But Jonathan McDaniel is here on behalf of the applicant with Tidewater Associates to address any concerns or questions that you might have, and certainly if you want to add anything to it, you're welcome to. And we've moved the podium since last time. That way you can actually see the TV when you're talking.
Yeah, basic stuff. We go and set all the irons once map is approved. With this being townhomes and part of Cedar Point Villas, the intent is to rope these townhomes into the overall covenants, so it'd just be another phase, but subject to the same covenants. All the outside stuff will be regulated like everything else. Pretty straightforward. Just they wanted to do townhomes instead of condos for whatever reason.
Did they do anything to correct the storm problem,
Yeah, that's
stormwater problems that road there, they all fixed now?
For the overall place, they've done some of it. The HOA is budgeting. They're gonna do it phases. But it's been planned. The
On paper.
yes.
But the work for this particular
Yeah, this,
part has been taken care of.
Yeah.
Didn't take care of.
yeah,
it.
so this is not gonna interfere with their past problems.
Did anybody got any questions for David or Jonathan, either one?
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to ask David, planning board, good with everything?
Just the things that we mentioned that just need to be updated prior to the signatures.
Okay.
Questions?
Make a motion to approve the final plat for the Cedar Point Villas Phase 3.
Wait a second.
I'll second that.
Got a motion on the floor, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. David, park and restroom design discussion.
All right, so in your agenda packet, included a couple items. One is a kind of sketch drawing of what the bathroom facility should look like once it's constructed out there at Boathouse Creek Park. For those in the public who may not be aware, the town is the recipient of a CAMA access grant that will help us cover 3/4 of the cost of this project. So what we need to do this evening is, before we can move forward with bidding it out, next step is really to send out an RFP, to finalize the design drawings so that we can send them out for an RFP to start getting some bids on its construction. I just wanted to touch base with all of you and make sure that we're all on the same page as far as some of the more details in the design. What you see from the outside of it, it is an octagon-shaped building. We talked about before the exterior, and we can talk about very fine details like paint colors and all that later. But the outside of it being split face block, so textured block. The roof being a standing seam metal roof to match what's already on the picnic shelter and the pavilion out at the pier. The upper, the cupola itself, my recommendation for that would be a hardy board. There's not a whole lot of space there. But do that in hardy and then trim it out with a composite type material. Looking to reduce the amount of maintenance that we're having to do from staff standpoint on that sort of stuff. One of the issues that we often run into with the hurricanes and that sort of stuff, wind-driven rain, is any kind of joint like this that you see with dormers and that sort of stuff. So I'd want to make sure they include a ice and water shield that comes up the wall there to make sure that stays watertight. Vinyl handrails and vinyl wrap posts. And then the floor itself for the wraparound porch and the ramp all being concrete. So easy to maintain. We don't have to worry about replacing wood, rotting wood, all that sort of stuff. Steps themselves, there's a set of steps on the front and the rear. 3 or 4 recommendation would be composite material rather than wood on those as well. Gutters around, because we do have the ramp that otherwise the water would just be running off onto the ramp as well as the stairs there. It's kind of the gist of the exterior of it. Is there any questions or concerns about any of that? I think we've talked about most of that already. I just had more questions about the interior. On the inside of the building, in some of these pictures, just so you know, when I blow them up, you'll see that they're a little different. This is an earlier drawing that actually showed some windows on this lower level and the door not being here, but this picture is the most accurate. This wall here would be designed for message board type stuff. So that's why it's left blank in this picture. But from an interior standpoint, you're looking at the side of it. So we're going to have block walls that come up to where the trusses tie in, and we start the incline up to the cupola. The interior of that would just be concrete block, right? That would be whatever color we choose for the split face block. But we're going to have an interior finished surface above that block wall here, as well as the ceiling inside and on the interior walls, which don't show up in these very well. In fact, give me just a second. This is what was in your packet. We were not able to upload to you a copy of the plans from the designer directly because of security that he has on the plans. So let me pull up. So you can see it a little clearer. That should be showing up a little clearer now. So there's the exterior wall I was talking about. We do need some interior finish on it here, as well as on the ceiling. And then the dividing walls between the four rooms, three of which would be bathrooms, the fourth would be storage. You would have the same thing. The block wall would come up to the same height and then move to a 2x6 wall with some sort of interior finish on that wall as well, going all the way to the very top of the cupola. So you can see from an aerial, you'll have a wall that goes all the way to the ridge, to the peak. So the main question that I have that we need to decide is, what do we want that to look like? Do we want to go with just a sheetrock? Do you want to do something that's a little nicer, a beadboard or a tongue and groove wood, or what do you want it to look like?
Yeah. How high is that going to start at? The height, that wall?
So you're going to start at least 8 feet high, if not 9.
Okay. Just past experiences with my times with recreation facilities, you want to make it just as user friendly as possible and durable, graffiti, you know what I mean? You just want to make it user friendly. So whatever we decide on, I just make sure we keep that into play, because you're going to run into those problems more than sheetrock, no, because they'll destroy that. I do like the tongue and groove. I think is probably a more durable, to handle all that vandalism type situations. Yeah, which we hope that doesn't happen, but it's going to happen. There's just no way to work around that. That would be my preference. It's just make sure that we put something there that's very durable, sustain some of that stuff.
Thinking about something like Trex.
Yeah.
When you group that the wood.
Yeah.
Composite material.
David and I were talking about not sheetrock.
No.
Yeah. Moisture more than anything else. We're really not worried about somebody going out and vandalizing that bathroom. It's a nice bathroom. Plus, we got the best deputy in town to keep that.
They'll do it with him sitting right there in the parking lot. I've had it, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and it's amazing. But yeah, it's exciting. Great job with that. Work on it for sure.
These windows on the top, they're not going to be letting any light in, are they?
Yes.
Yeah, there'll be
natural light coming in.
That'll be your
Okay, I was trying to figure out how
They're fixed.
they were going to, if we have it all the way up. But
So if you look at this picture right here, it's not shown, but I can kind of sketch. If we were to, maybe it'll let me sketch. Nope, it won't let me. imagine a wall coming straight down from this peak, straight down,
Mhm.
splitting that in half. So you're going to come up to about this height here, same height as this block wall with another block wall. And then from there on, it'll be trimmed out. So that upper portion of the wall, and then this portion of the ceiling, you got a vertical portion here, this portion of the ceiling, and this section over here is what we're talking about.
Okay.
If you hadn't had a chance, I recommend the Beaufort. At Beaufort, their park's got that tongue and groove on the walls, just to give you an idea. You know, if y'all have heard it that way, just to look at it.
Is it composite?
No, it's
Or is it wood?
It's wood, but it's all the way up.
Yeah.
But it's a good touch, you know. And if you're up that way, just kind of look at it because
Well, the reason to put the 8-sided bathroom is to emulate the 8-sided house, which have the some kind of wood ceiling. This is a little different. We are dealing with the public here, so things that happen.
Yeah.
So, try to eliminate as much as possible with the materials that we use.
Yeah.
Keep a gallon of paint on it. So,
I like leaf wood too.
it's-
And one thing I did not mention to you is on the overhangs for the front porch. My suggestion for that was a vinyl beadboard look. So it's a vinyl siding, like vinyl soffit, but it actually looks very much like beadboard. Unless you actually feel it, it's hard to tell the difference. If you want an example of it, the canopies over at Cape Carter Baptist Church, that's what they did it in. And it looks really nice and easy to maintain.
Very similar to the Hemmings Beach campground bathhouse. Y'all had seen it. It's nice.
and what you're talking about would be, it's easy to clean up if you have that issue because you're gonna have, you know what I mean. Something you can go to real quick, the guys can get done, and it's not gonna take all day. It's you'd be amazed on what you can find on these public facilities, and for them to be able to go to it immediately and clean, that's going to be good to have that particular type, you know, material.
And an overall cleaning, you know, something that a pressure washer can hit most everything. And
Yeah, not having to use like a big cut cleaner, you know, just something to get it on.
okay, for a floor on the inside, it is a concrete floor. This is a company here locally. They do the epoxy. I thought I had the link to the actual.
Go back for a second. Oh,
Yeah.
In the interior, you're gonna have some drains, right?
Yeah.
That was maybe my next
In these floors.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and do that.
Sorry, I might have
No,
missed it.
that's fine. So here's
We've done this thing for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so a few things that you'll see that are a little bit different from here. You will see a floor drain in each one of them, and you will see a security hose bib. So you got to have the special tool to make it work. What I would recommend, though, we had talked about doing a unisex and a ladies and a men's, but then there was the discussion before to just make them all unisex. Since they're only one person per bathroom. With that, there would be moving the sink to the middle of the room a little more, keeping the toilets in the corners because you got to have the grab bars, and then putting a urinal in each one of them, but they would be in the corners, kind of where you see the sink. And for that, rather than your traditional looking ones that can be broken off the wall, I would recommend a floor model like this.
perfect.
So it's full length.
Yep.
The top lip right here actually sits below the floor level just a little bit. So you have the floor drain, but you can also wash the floor into the urinal. It's not quite as obtrusive, and it's not, you don't have to worry about somebody trying to climb on it, breaking off the wall and that sort of stuff.
Good news.
So that's what you would see on each one of those. But yeah, that's your general layout. Then for the floor,
Does the maintenance storage, does it have a hose bib in it also?
we can add one to it.
I think that'd be a good idea.
You need
And a
to-
floor drain.
Yeah.
In case you make a mess. in it.
I thought he,
I would,
okay, I thought he had one in there, but yeah. Yeah, we'll get those added. So on the floor itself, doing a finish that would look somewhat like this. It's a flake. It's an epoxy with a flake, but then the top layer of it is a polyaspartic that they say is a lot more durable. And they only do this one with a quartz. It's like a double flake layer so that it holds up better than just the traditional garage epoxy stuff. They use it a lot in commercial kitchens and that sort of stuff so that it's not smooth and slick, but it's not so gritty that it's going to catch a lot of stuff. Has a little.
I'll put a lot of this stuff down.
Mhm.
The Sherwin-Williams brand Sika holds up 10 times better than anything I've seen in stone hard. I've tried multiple companies of this. We put it in all the common areas of the barracks on bases.
Is it a plain paint or is it?
No,
does
no,
it come with a?
Comes in all sorts of textures and colors.
Okay.
I don't mind sending those to you.
Yeah.
One other thing about those commodes too, the high pressure flush valve. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but it eliminates a lot of stop ups. It's one of those, you hit the button, you just blow your mind. You don't go in there and if there's something on the floor nobody wants to clean up. Just some, I don't know. Stuff I've run into.
it's right, man. I mean, you're talking.
Well, that's what we're looking for. Easy to clean, easy to maintain, durable.
And it's better to do it now because if not, you go back and do it again. It's just
Yeah,
creates a mess. You gotta knock out the floor and replumb and all of this. Do it up front if you can. That'd be great. With this great call, high pressure.
Yeah. I've started putting them everywhere.
Yep.
Just for that reason.
So we did talk about putting some conditioning in it. It looks like the easiest way to do it would be 3 mini splits, one for each of those 3 rooms. Not worried about the maintenance storage area having one. They can be fed from the outside, from that lower wall. So in the side area right here, we can feed them in from there, as well as light fixtures and a motion detector. So the idea with the motion detector is that also having time locked doors. So they would lock at a certain time at night. And then the motion sensor alarm system would go off if there's motion detected after hours. So we don't have a situation where somebody goes in there and camps out in there. It would let us know that, hey, somebody's in there after hours. We need to let Kurt know
Yeah.
Trying to tear
to go make a new friend.
trying to make it where it doesn't get tore up.
It doesn't get tore up and it doesn't become, a residency.
How about exhaust fans? You putting it in there?
So yes, with the exhaust, usually for something like that, I would recommend doing just a solid pull. So it pulls all 3 at the same time.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to worry about somebody flipping one on or off and all that. So 1 fan system, 3 exhausts to it. The lights themselves being on a timed motion. When you enter, you can push a button or it picks up the motion.
Do you do that fan all the time too? Just a dial where it just clicks, goes back around here, cuts off. The way it doesn't keep running and running and running.
Well, they make them that are designed to run 24 hours, but they're basically, I mean, you can set them to not run overnight, but they just have a slower, quiet draw. It's not like having a bathroom fan that, but it does constantly pull from all of them. Now one of the questions that we had when we did the initial estimate on this is, do we want to spend the money to have all of the electrical within the concrete block walls, as opposed to exposed pipe and boxes on the face or surface of the.
I'll put it in the walls, no doubt about it.
Put it in the walls because they'll rip the pipes right off the wall.
I figured that was the answer, but it comes with cost, so.
It does, but but it's going to pay for itself. Even the hand dryers. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
those brown paper
Just
towels.
put them right in the wall. That way it's harder for them to tear that up in the wall than it is attached.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Anything else?
You may think about something like a baby changing table in one of them. And I've seen in a lot of public restrooms. They're not that expensive.
No.
No.
It doesn't take up too much room. You put it in all of them.
They just flip down.
Yeah, just flip down, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the layout. We'll have all the plumbing fixtures on one wall. Two of them will all be on the same wall, and then the other will have to be different because of the door location. But on the side where the door is, there's room there.
That's
past the
normally,
grab bar.
yeah, that's normally right there. Yeah, right there at the door.
So that won't be a problem. I did think one question would be, do we want to provide some receptacles on this front wall? This is the front steps coming up. In case we ever want to put any lights or on a TV for displaying information as opposed to just a static board. If we're going to put it, you want to do it while you're putting the block work up, not after the fact.
Might as well.
As well.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I wouldn't put heat in that storage building too, if you're gonna put a hose bib in.
Yeah, I was
Like
thinking.
a hot dog, if you don't know what a hot dog is.
Yeah.
It's a little heater. It's called hot, DAWG hot dogs. You can set them on 50 and it keeps stuff freezing.
Okay. I mean, we put a wall mounted heater out here in the shop or in the shop office that has done great out there.
Yes, something of that nature. That you could cut on if it was like this weekend, you could.
Yeah, we'll figure out something to do with keeping at least heat in there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, it looks good.
It does look good.
All right. Well, I'll hope to have all this sent to our draftsman so we can incorporate this into the drawings and we can formalize the details and hope to get an RFP sent out later. Well, this coming month. So hopefully we'll get some bids back for your March meeting. So,
Think about all those shutoffs too for the sinks. Where you hit it and it cuts off on its own.
The pressure ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we might leave sink on.
usually on like that sort of stuff, they'll probably have like an allowance kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll make sure we work through those details. I just wanted enough to where we got apples to apples bids.
Are you putting wood on?
Yeah, you need to really look into those petitions too, because
but
in my experience,
there's
there's different ways to get those things installed.
The what?
The petitions between the toilets, because you'll get kids hanging in there, jumping in there. I mean,
There aren't none.
on the women's side.
It's just one.
There's standalone.
Okay.
They're all standalone units.
All right, perfect, even better.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be unisex.
Perfect. That solves that problem then.
Yeah, they're one person at a time.
Good deal.
Doors. It's shown on here as a steel door. Is there any thoughts on that issue? I know steel we have to worry about rusting. Wood you worry about staining and maintaining. But
Well, you're close to the water. You're gonna get a little bit of salt air.
They have fiberglass.
Yeah, It's a flip of a coin. It's preference.
I think
Really.
the steel ones are more durable. It'd be a long time. I don't know.
Even if it goes bad at the bottom, we've always put like foot plates
Yeah.
to protect it. You know what I mean? After it went bad, then we put a foot plate.
After it starts looking a little
Yes.
bubbly.
Then you put a foot plate down there. Oh, we got a new door. Yeah, brand new door. We all bought it yesterday. So that's one way to look at the metal door thing. You know, you start out with no foot plate, let it deteriorate away after a couple of years, and you put a nice little foot plate there, keep it just to help it out.
Yeah, I like that.
Steel it is. All right. Anything else?
Nice.
If you have anything else, just let me know. I'll try to send out the RFP to all of you and let you take a look at it, review it, and then if you have any more feedback, then we can finalize it and get it pushed out. One other thing I want to ask you about related is on the outside, out in the parking lot or towards the parking lot, you come down the stairs, bottom of the ramp, there'll be a little bit of a walkway that goes to that front parking lot there. A water fountain system set up. I've got it loading here on the center screen at the moment. Hopefully. So this particular one, they have different models. This one's designed for a water bottle filling station as opposed to your traditional spigot for a drink, water fountain. They make others that have both incorporated. Like here's a design. Whenever you do, like for this one has both the water bottle filling as well as your traditional water fountain. The other one I was showing you, and they actually have a lot of varieties of them. This one has a dog watering spot as well, which we do get a lot of dog traffic out there. So I just wanted to kind of gauge your thoughts on what features specifically, and then I can provide one to you. This one is like a granite looking finish. A lot of what you'll find are going to be more of the either stainless or green or some other metal.
This can be away from the building.
It'll be at the bottom of the stairs, a little bit away from the building, between the building and the parking lot. This is whenever it pulls up, is the most expensive one, but it's the one that has everything. It has your I'm gonna pull it now. It has the water fountains, two of them, because one of them is ADA accessible, the lower one. So you have a lower one, an upper one, the bottle filling station, and the dog water. Any thoughts, comments? We don't have to narrow that down now, but as we're putting together plans.
I like the stone.
With all the goodies on.
And I'm assuming they're freeze proof.
Nothing is freeze proof when you put it outside. They are insulated on the inside, but yeah, I wouldn't say they're freeze proof. We probably still want to shut them off on weekends like this one.
Some of them actually have heating.
These are mechanically operated, so they don't require electricity.
Just a water.
Just a water source. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put that together with all the bells and whistles on this particular design. I may find a different brand. I'll keep searching, but I just want to kind of get your feedback for direction. I appreciate that. That's really all I have on that. Thank you all.
That's good.
Glad we get started.
I'll be glad when we finish.
Good thing.
Oh, God. Had to get the money right.
Well. I don't know how to say anything.
Thank you, Cam.
Okay, Lieutenant, you're up.
Leaving all you and Kate, really appreciate it. Really, the biggest thing that I talked to the town manager tonight about is we picked up a identity theft case here at Cedar Point, 2 of them. And we've got pretty good leads on them since I picked them up. So we're gonna go ahead and go forward with that. I'll also be contacting Newburgh about it. One of the people living there area. Our homeless guy that I talked to you about before Christmas, he has relocated himself to Swansboro. So he's left Cedar Point. He's found somewhere else he wants to be. So we haven't had any problems with any homeless people.
He was on the sidewalk over there yesterday.
Okay, well, he was in Swansboro.
He had company. He had company.
Did he?
So they may send him back. I just tell you.
Well, we got rid of him for a little bit, but other than that, we have not had a whole lot other than those cases, which is a good thing. Is there anything I can do for you for any concern that you may have other than traffic?
Kirk, I know there's one off of Old 58, you know, where the T is going, you know, when you come off of BFW Road.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're probably all aware of this. They keep going over there. I see it because, you know, I come up that road every day in the morning, but there's something going on over there.
Okay.
A couple of the guys keep going over there. I see walking out of there, going in there with a weed eater, with a hedge trimmer. So they're making camp back there somehow.
Okay, sure.
They're doing something back there.
Well, we'll definitely find out.
You know, it's been brought to my attention through people in our, you know, our surrounding areas, you know, that make me aware. But when you see a weed eater go in the woods like that and hedge trimmers and they come out, then there's something going.
There's something.
And I don't know if that falls into you or Cape Carteret because it's actually on Cape Carteret's side, but I'm sure y'all can work together.
Yeah. So we'll work together. It'll be good.
Thank you.
We'll find out what's going on. Anything else? Well, if I could, if you don't mind, I'd like to introduce someone to you. He's my boss. I'd like to introduce Chief Deputy John Nyberg, from Carter County Sheriff's Office. He came out today. Just to see y'all and meet y'all. But I wanted to make sure you knew he was here. You have anything else for me?
I think we're good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for the job. Stay safe.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the new slot. If you need us, holler at us. We'll come help you. Hey, Dave, back up.
All right. Let's pull up my notes. Give you a couple road updates. I found out this past week that the R5858 project, which is to add the slip lanes onto the 2458 intersection, is supposed to be let for contracts in June with a start of this fall. Actually start working on the construction portion of it. They've already been working on the utility work out there for the last year. And so they're planning on starting that in the fall. They are also, DOT's looking to let the contract for this Cape Carter roundabout there at the end of Taylor Nation Road in 58 in the fall of this year as well. Most likely to start in the spring of next year. So 2 big projects coming up this way. If you were in front of Riptide Car Wash location this past week, you may have seen about 20 guys out there with vests on. They're looking at doing the final utility changes for the turn lane that'll be taking place in front of that property. As you're coming from Cape Carter, turning onto Old Highway 58, the new turn lane that'll have to be there for the Riptide Car Wash. They should be starting on that very soon. So they've already started the utility work for that as well. You might have seen some of the fiber optic getting moved a couple of weeks ago as part of that project. I do think they'll have to move one of the poles that's there for the traffic lights back a little bit in order to accommodate it. So that may be some of the next things you see is some changes to the traffic light itself, just pulling the pole back off the road a little bit further. Looks like it's right there in the area where they need to be. If you've been down Masonic Avenue lately or Little Bay, thank you. You might have seen West Carter Water Corporation's been out there working on the installation of the 6-inch water line we talked about before. They're making that interconnectivity. That's also part of the R5858 project, because without putting in that segment of water line that would create a loop, when they have to cut the line at the 2458 intersection, the west end of Cedar Point Boulevard would be without water for a day or so. And so this line is necessary to provide continuity of flow when they cut that line, so they can actually backfeed it from either direction. So they should have that done pretty soon. Part of that was cutting out some of the concrete right there in front of the park. They're doing an open cut there and installing it, and then they will be patching that concrete back for us rather than boring it. The cost to bore was just exorbitant, and the concrete there was already cracked up pretty good, so it'll actually be an improvement to what's out there with the concrete they'll be pouring. With that, there's a new fire hydrant that is located at the entrance to the park on the right-hand side. That's part of that water line improvement, as well as one will be located on the west side of Masonic Avenue, about halfway down between the new sports shop and the park. So we got 2 new hydrants in that area as a result of that as well. Also, from a road standpoint, the Marsh Harbor subdivision is having discussions about the idea of turning the remaining Marsh Harbor roads over to the town. They've polled their residents. I met with the Marsh Harbor board. They're talking to their residents, wanting to consider something similar to what we did with Crystal Shores. And so they're polling their residents now to see if that's something that their residents are interested in. They've asked me to, and I've agreed to a Q&A session with them here in this room next Wednesday, February 4th at 6:30. I know a lot of the answers that I'll have to give them are, I can't tell you that. They're going to want to know, is the town going to require them to fix some of those roads before we accept them? All that sort of stuff. Will the board actually accept the roads? None of which I can answer for them at that meeting. But I can walk them through what that process of making the request looks like, how Crystal Shores walk through that process, and just some of the things that would have to be worked out if a request were made, as far as, their stop signs and street signs don't match the rest of the town. So if the town's going to take them over, then when we replace them, we're going to replace them to match versus, treating them unique from other subdivisions, those sorts of things. So that is coming up next Wednesday, and we'll see where that goes. They think they have strong support, but don't know if they have enough to even make the request. Update here at Town Hall. The generator has been installed as much as it can be at this point. The Renai tankless water heater is mounted outside and is ready for the electric to be connected, and the final plumbing connections and the gas heaters that we purchased are hanging in the shop. They're all on hold until Piedmont Natural Gas actually runs the gas line to us. So that's the next step in the process. They were scheduled to do the install on January 16th. I reached out, got an updated date, and they're supposed to be here tomorrow to install that. So hopefully they'll show up tomorrow. We can go ahead and get that gas connected to the main pipe. They'll make their final connections, call for the inspections, and then that'll finalize all of those. The public works staff and myself hung the gas heaters. If you haven't been out there, they're nice. They're 15 feet long. There's 2 of them.
Nice.
And they're radiant style heaters. They're going to, I can't wait to see them in operation.
You cool?
Yeah.
Got gas to it going up. So yeah, in the event that we have a big storm that cuts off power, we'll have heat out there and electricity over here. So,
Hear that, Pam? Yeah.
just don't try to use the new bathrooms when they
out at the park when they. All right. Although with them being blocked, that probably would be a safe place to be in a hurricane. Just thinking.
Yeah.
The Healthplex, the hospital's facility that's going in, all of the permits have been issued. As far as I know, if they're still working something with the building permit, we're not aware of, but we've issued the zoning permits and all the state permits have been issued. You might have seen them out there putting up the silk fence and already scraping the surface. So they just finalized their sedimentation erosion control permit, I think, yesterday. So that's the last thing they were kind of waiting on before they started on that. So should see a lot of progress there here pretty soon. We did get the RFP sent out for the repaving of this end of Sherwood, Jones Street, and Shady Path. I think we sent out to 9 different contractors. So the deadline is before your next meeting. We gave them 28 days to respond. So for your next meeting, we should have some bids for you to review to go ahead and get that work started. The beavers have reappeared on Sherwood Avenue down here, rebuilt some new dams. I've already reached out to the trappers that we worked with before to come out and remove them and open that back up again. So they're being taken care of. As we speak, they would come back out to get some traps set up here pretty soon. We have restarted working with the Chamber of Commerce to host the Western Carteret Business Roundtable. It will take place each month on the 3rd Tuesday of each month right here in this room at 8 a.m. So anyone that has a small business that's interested in being a part of that, please come out and join them. It's no cost. It's just a opportunity to speak with other business owners, share ideas, work together as a group to all the businesses. We have our first meeting for Cedar Fest 2026 coming up next Tuesday. So if there's any thoughts on things that we need to work on or any suggestions that you all have, if you would let us know before Tuesday so we can start working on any changes that we need to make for this coming year. We do need to set a retreat date. This time every year we start looking at a retreat sometime in February. I'll let Jane go over the details with that in just a minute with you, but we do need to address the retreat. And then finally, the Essentials of Municipal Government course I mentioned to you last month. They are filling up. They're continuing to fill up. There's only 2 locations left that are not that do not have wait lists, and they are Rocky Mount, North Carolina, on February 12th and 13th. It's a 2-day class put on by the North Carolina School of Government, UNC School of Government, and the other one is at Chapel Hill, February 26th and 27th. If you're interested in attending it, it does include the ethics portion that all the recently reelected and newly elected commissioners have to take. So you can knock it out there without having to go to 2 separate classes. It is a 2-day class though. So take a look at your calendars. If you're interested in it, let me know as soon as possible because they are filling up pretty quick now.
And February 5th is ECC's ethics course.
Okay.
So that is in New Bern.
If you want to do their ethics course up there at the East Carolina Council of Governments,
6 to 9.
If you want to do it in person, there are also opportunities to do that. If you want to do it via online, pre-recorded, the School of Government has that opportunity, and there will be some others that come up as well. But if you want to meet, it is a great opportunity. If you go to the one at the COG, it's a great opportunity to meet other recently elected and re-elected local government officials in this region. So there'll be other towns and county elected officials that'll be there that you won't see online, or if you go to the Chapel Hill, you may not see as many of your locals here as you will at that one. I think that is all I have. In case you have any questions,
David, when they do the work here at the corner, 2458, is our sign in danger?
The sign itself is not in danger of being moved at this point. But we do need to, we haven't taken any action with regard to the landscaping around the sign because they are still doing a lot of utility work and they're tearing up that intersection. And part of what we do when we update the sign will be to run a new electrical line. So there's actually I don't know if you know, there used to be a power pole that was being used to carry power lines. They came down and fed our meter base. And when they moved the power pole back, they just fed over to it. And so now there's a specific pole that's used just to run the wire down to our meter base so they didn't have to rerun the underground electric. All that's got to be removed at some point. And when it is, then we're going to run power directly to the posts of the sign rather than to a little area out in front of it and then light it a little differently. So all that's still needs to be done, but we're waiting for them to finalize that.
So the sign is okay where it sits.
Our understanding is it does not have to be moved.
All right, how about in front of the car wash, they're gonna put a turn lane,
Correct.
but they're gonna replace the sidewalk.
Yes. When they replace the sidewalk, we will have to enter into a new encroachment agreement for the relocated portion of the sidewalk with NCDOT. We have to do that anytime they move the sidewalk stuff. But yes. Yeah, nearly all of that sidewalk in that section will be replaced as a result of that because they will start the turn lane pretty much when you get to the
Sidewalk.
right where the sidewalk starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they may be able to leave one or two segments and that's it. It will, just so you know, there will be a little bit of a jog in it. It will no longer be straight. There's an area where they're going to have a I think it's a catch basin they're having to put in that area. And maybe a pole that they're having to actually go around. So there'll be a little bit of a C-notch, if you will, to get around that stuff with that turn.
Then where are we at with Boathouse Creek Gate?
So I'm actually meeting. Let me look at the calendar. It's one day next week.
That's good. The reason why I asked, I had a citizen contact me about seeing all the vandalism. I know you guys have been dealing with that, and I know it's getting, and I tell them, I said, look, it's in progress. We're trying to get a gate to shut the place down during a certain time. And so that was, just trying to, get some good answers.
Yeah. So with the gate, my anticipation with that is when we put the park bathroom in there, we're going to have to remove that existing underground utility that's there now. There's a meter base sitting pretty much where the bathroom's going to go. And this park gate is going to be fed out of that meter base. So if we put something in before we have the bathroom in place, then we're just burying something that we're going to have to rip back out anyhow. But I'm meeting with some guys Tuesday at 10:30. We're going to meet out at the park first, and then we're going to come here because it'll probably be cold. So we'll talk through the details, and we'll be talking about both the gate as well as the security stuff in the bathroom. So the gate guys, and then the Down East Protection Services out of Kinston, they do a lot of that security work to get all that taken care of in one meeting. And then talk about other security related stuff out there as well. And the same thing's true with the sign as well. That's why we're holding off on the sign.
I just need to give people.
Oh no, I get it.
They walk out there and they're like, man, what y'all gonna do something about all this vandalism going on? I'm like, we're in the works. It's in the works. So you tell them gate, they're like, okay, great, that's all I need to know.
And with the water line improvement that's going in right now there at the corner, they will be going ahead and setting us a meter. We don't currently have a water meter out there for the park. So
They're gonna set 10.
yeah, they're good. To the tap.
That's good.
Yeah.
If they're right there, get it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While the holes look.
That's
good,
it.
really.
That's it.
Okay.
So I checked for Friday dates, out of respect for our two appointed commissioners, Frankie and Pam. 6th and the 13th were available on Friday, or in February. Unfortunately, Mr. will be out of the office on the 6th. All of March Fridays are spoken for, which only leaves Friday the 13th. So, I wanted to gauge everybody's availability, and I'll reach out to Pam to see if she's available on that particular day. It will be at the Islander in the ballroom like we had in years past. Legion. And, probably start at 9, 8:30, 9 o'clock, but we have years past.
I'm good. 13's good with me.
February 13th, right?
Friday the 13th, really the truth of the summer.
Got a lot going on in February. Class, street, ethics.
We got elected. Open the floor up for public comment. Who are you?
Amber,
Where you live?
190 Lake. Document 0389403. 500 rural and full impact. And farm. This is the single use.
Well, the likelihood of the need to clean up toilets would be less with a urinal in place.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name is Shane Guthrie, candidate for sheriff, Carter County. Mr. Nyberg, Republican primary, coming up starting next month. For voting, I want to just tell you a little bit about myself. Born and raised in Carter County. Pretty much my entire family lives here in this county. I started my career in 1991. I actually went to Carter Community College for my basic law enforcement academy. Left for a short time, went to Dare County, worked in PD shortly until I turned 21, because I was looking for deputy sheriff, worked for Dare County Sheriff. My mother got sick with cancer, so I returned back home to Carter County. I stayed and worked at both police departments. Stayed there until I went to Greenville. I worked for the Pitt County Sheriff's Office, 1998. I stayed there until I retired and received my 30 years of service. Retired in 2021. I stayed on Pitt County Sheriff's Office, currently still sworn there now, serving civil payment department. When I moved back home about 3 years ago, I got an insurance license. I sell insurance with Willis Insurance in Morgan City now. When Sheriff Buck came up, decided to run for Congress, retired as being sheriff, something hit my chest. I started praying. Prayed about 2 weeks over this. I didn't take this decision lightly. I felt that I was led to run. I'm going to tell you about some of my initiatives that I want to do to make some good positive changes to elevate the sheriff's office from where it already is now. Some of the things I want to do is put an AED in every single patrol car. Those who don't know what AED is, it's an automated defibrillator. It's used for people that suffer from cardiac arrest. We have a lot of elderly people living in this county. I have a lot of elderly kin that live in this county, and I want to give them as much of a chance as I do everybody else here of surviving. And the reason I know this program will work is in Pitt County, we started this 2015. And the survival rate before we started, deputies started responding to this, 30.8% for a witness CPR cardiac arrest patient in Pitt County. When deputies were got, and I was one of them, got an AED in our patrol car, we started responding to these cardiac arrest patients. The survival rate jumped to 80.8%. That's a 50% increase. The program works. I know it works. I've seen it. It's not to take over EMS's job by any means whatsoever, because they still need to come, they respond, they've got paramedics, they can give them a whole lot of drugs, everything else, to keep the person going. It's just to help sustain life long enough, because in a lot of cases, in a lot of situations, you got a great EMS down here on Western County. But if they're already tied up on another car or at the hospital, you have to wait for another EMS system to come here, and minutes count. That's one thing. I've got a long list of things I want. But another thing I want to do is sort of domestic violence prevention. I was personally a domestic violence investigator at Pitt County. We started this unit mainly because we were having way too many domestic homicides. And we started the unit, the entire time I was there, our domestic homicides pretty much dropped nearly nothing. The few that we did have was situations and cases that we never responded to one time. They either came from the city or they moved into the county at some point with some friends. We never had an initial interaction case. That's another thing. Just bring the accountability to the abuser and stop the abuse. Hopefully fix this for children, so it's a cycle of violence. Another initiative I'm really passionate about is to have a sworn deputy that is certified with the SBI ICAT system. The ICAT system looks for child sex predators. And I've also found just recently this past year, there's another company that works with the SBI ICAT system that's using artificial intelligence to take the tips in from ICATs. And without this AI using these tips, take a person, a human being, about half a day to go through one profile. AI finds this person, finds a profile person in seconds. They said they found 18 predators the first week they started. Predators come from everywhere, not just in here in our county. They'll come from out of state, look at children. I want to stop that before they get a hold of our children. That's another initiative I want to start here in the sheriff's office. I know Cedar Point especially has grown leaps and bounds. There's a call rate down here that's gotten big. Heavy. I want to help Debbie down here because I want to do some restructure. Make sure there's additional help down. In the summertime, the call volume has gotten pretty busy from what I've been told. So I want to make sure there's additional help deputies down here, because obviously it's getting to the point that you need more of a 24-hour service. Just make sure that this helps down here and service is provided at all times. I also want to always stay in contact with you guys. Should I be elected sheriff? Make sure we always have open communication. So I'm very concerned about everybody in the county, what's going on. I want to know what's going on. But I have multiple initiatives I want to do, and I got them on my website. I'll give y'all a call. You can check them out if you like. Question.
All right, Shane. Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Marianne Waldrop. I'm District 4 County Commissioner. I just wanted to bring a couple things to light. Friday, February 6th, time to be determined. We are going to have a groundbreaking / ribbon cutting for the new Highway 24 boat ramp that the county has been anxiously awaiting to get started on due to some delays and some permits. So in case you don't know where that entrance is, it's right across from that new left-hand turn lane on Highway 24 near Sunland Dirt Pit, just east of Red Barn Road. So that's going to be time to be determined, but February the 6th, sometime during the day. So I wanted to give you a heads up, save the date on that. And I just wanted to do a little education. So keep in mind, we're seeing a lot of election signs. The primary that you're going to vote in, you can go online on the County Board of Elections and get sample ballots. Please don't get confused, because in the primary, the whole county can vote for all county commissioners. But in the primary, you've got a primary right now between Stephen Overby and David Quinn. That is District 1, and that is not open to the entire county. That is just open for District 1 residents. So for a point of education, you vote countywide in the primary election in November. But in March, it is your district. So it would behoove you not to confuse yourself with all these signs that you're seeing, because you may not be. I am your county commissioner and I'm not up for election right now. So you don't have a commissioner to worry about, but your residents may need to know that. So the primary is just between the two Republicans for whatever seat, or the three, whatever number is running for any seat, but it's district restricted during the primary. So you don't have to figure out who you're going to vote for District 1 County Commissioner in Cedar Point, because that is not yours to vote for. The way to simplify it is to go pull your sample ballot, and anybody can do that. Go pull your sample ballot off of the Carteret County Board of Elections website, and it says, print my sample ballot. Okay, so I'm happy to be here. Thanks for letting me come back. And I'm always open. If you have anything, just contact me. Yeah.
Oh, what district is Cedar Point?
4. And that goes for the Board of Education as well. The Board of Education and the districts for the Board of Education and the districts for the commissioners are the same. So you are District 4 for Board of Education and County Commissioner. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you.
Just a point of clarification. There is a very small portion of residents in Cedar Point who are in fact in District 1. They are all going to be north of Hidden Bay Drive. So up in the area that used to be ETJ, up near Pettiford Creek. Very small portion.
Thank you.
But for the most of Cedar Point residents, they are in District 4.
Thank you. Thanks.
In case any of them watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Later.
This is for the people that are listening as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I don't have a lot. Everybody stay safe in the snow this weekend. Preliminary weather says we are most likely gonna get 4 to 6 inches, so just be careful around your stuff, really.
Again, be careful. We're not used to driving. I've got 500 pounds of rocks back in the truck. Possible ice. So it's gonna stay in there. But just be careful. Remember, I got it.
I'm just gonna say I'm glad we're seeing the bathroom get off the ground soon, and be careful in the snow this weekend, everybody. Don't go out and do donuts in the park.
Speaking of that, it will be our intention to close the park should we get snow out there, as we have in
That will happen.
for that very reason.
Yeah. I can already see that happening.
No, I've already talked with Public Works about, we'll close the park in the event of
Good move.
snow until it melts.
Yeah.
Yeah, clears up a little bit.
Yeah.
You can park at the road and walk it.
Yeah.
Bring it through the boat, man.
Fall Kurt.
No, I just likewise what Gary says, it's good to see some of that stuff kind of coming together, and seeing some of these little projects that we've approved in the town also starting to. That's always exciting to see some good growth and everything. But Happy New Year. Thanks to all the staff, all you're doing. I know we're starting a new year, and looking forward to 2026. So, thanks.
All right, again, I'm gonna piggyback on the snow and the ice and the cold. It's really gonna get down and cold. It's gonna stay down there for a few days. Think about your pipes. If you're not protected, protect it. Run a little water in your house, keep it running, you know, we all know that, so just make sure you do it. So pets, watch after for your pets, don't leave them outside this weekend, put them inside. All that stuff, protect yourself. If you're out on the highway, you gotta get out there, be very careful. Stay at home, go to Netflix. Put something on there, camp out, have some popcorn. I mean, just be safe. There's crazy people out there. You guys know it. There are gonna be some crazy people out there. If there's snow and ice or whatever, you count on it. So take all that to account, stay home and enjoy it at home. It'll be fun. I like seeing new candidates come that are running. I'm glad Shane came tonight and gave us a talk. I didn't know who he was when he was back there. I've never seen him, but I'm real glad you came, Shane. All that information helps us. I'm glad Mr. Nyberg came tonight and introduced himself to him, saved me a trip because I was planning on going down there like tomorrow. But glad to see you. And I will drop by and see with you so we can discuss some stuff. Glad to see y'all come out tonight in the cold. I don't like the cold. I don't know about you guys. I got bad words to say about the cold. So it's no fun. I like it. I like the warm. I like Arizona and Utah. So, so our next regular scheduled meeting will be February 24th, 2026 at 6:30. Guys can show up, please do. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion to adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Now, Gert, thank you. Thanks for